Hello, I'm Cass from My Jam, and today I'm interviewing the wonderful Kam and Sally from Capital Breakfast. Kam and Sally, you're talking with me today about radio and the positive effects it can have on speech and development. What is great about your job?
Oh, where to start? Working with my best mate every day is obviously a bonus.
Yeah.
You won't say the same back, will you?
Well, yeah. Yeah, that's nice.
I think what the nicest thing is when you get response from listeners, when they get involved with the show and you're hopefully entertaining them.
Why is being able to have good speech important, do you think, as a presenter?
It's all to do with communication, isn't it? Basically, if you want to convey your point, you need to do it in the most succinct way possible. If you find yourself over-explaining, then you'll find yourself losing people all the way through. And it's also about the confidence, I think, with which you project what you're trying to say as well. So I think it all just comes down to a good use of vocabulary and how you project yourself as well. And the certain words you use, it's amazing. There are so many little subliminal effects that the brain picks up on. And if you use positive speech and positive language, people tend to pick up on that. Whether you realise it or not, whether they realise it or not, they do. And that's how you leave a lasting impression.
What is it about radio that makes it so brilliant? Why do you love being radio presenters?
It's an immediate medium. Which is really nice. And a lot of TV, I think, is based around, there are a lot of producers, there are a lot of directors, there are a lot of segment producers who all get involved, all have their say, and 9 times out of 10, the presenter will work off a really well-crafted script. There's a certain amount of production and planning that obviously goes into radio, but each presenter basically sells themselves. They are the product, and they have to use the environment which they're given, i.e. the format of the station that they work for, to slot into it and fit in. And so it's a lot more immediate and it's a lot more personal, I think, because it's a lot more opinion-based. The presenters are, depending on what, if you're working on a news station, you're allowed a certain amount of opinion, but you can't exercise any bias. On a light-hearted station such as Capital, for instance, we are allowed just to, tongue-in-cheek have opinions, and we're allowed to express them. And you can react to stuff on the day or react to stuff that's happened to you weeks before.
I also think with radio over, say, telly, there's the fact that you can take part wherever you are, in the car. If you're stuck in traffic, you can be in the bathroom, you're listening to the radio. You don't tend to do that with telly. And also the fact that you can paint pictures with radio, whereas telly, it's there, you have to just watch it. Radio, you especially if you're talking about, the way you use your vocabulary and stuff, if you paint, you can literally paint a picture with what you're saying, so people visualise it.
So do you think you have to be confident in order to be a presenter, or do you think it can be learnt?
I don't know. I think I think a lot of people on the radio. Yes, I think basically when you're on the radio, I think you need a certain amount of confidence, depending on which level you want to go to. For me, as a kid, when I started off in hospital radio, I didn't really have that much confidence. But having done that for a period of time, your confidence grows each time you sort of go on and you try and learn your craft a little bit more. And then by the time I think I got into professional radio, confidence had just gone into sheer arrogance. So there's a fine line that you've got to really look out for.
I was terrified when I first started, and it wasn't something I wanted to. I never saw myself behind the microphone. But I've had 2 or 3 panic attacks when I first started in radio, and luckily people forgave me and I still kept my job. But it was terrifying initially. So I think it's definitely, confidence is something that can be learned.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And do you think that comes with obviously practice as well? So the more you're doing it, the more you get used to it. And
yeah, absolutely. I mean, we could do this show with our eyes shut now, couldn't we?
Oh God, yeah, obviously. It'll be hard to read the stuff that we've got, but yeah. Other than that, we're blindfolded, one hand behind our back, pressing the buttons with our nose. It'll be easy. Oh, it's just dead easy. Confidence, I think, is definitely something that grows, and I think but basically, working in a medium like this, whatever level, whether it's community, hospital, university, if you are working on the radio, it's not only your self-confidence, but it's the confidence that you see in other people, in you, that helps you grow as well.
Fantastic. And do you think radio has helped you present yourself not only here but in other situations in life?
Yeah, I guess so. Because again, it's that thing of when I started out, I wasn't very confident at all. And practically everything terrified me. Whereas now, we've got a few events coming up where we have to stand in front of a very large crowd, 20,000 people at Ponty's big weekend. And again, that's something I wouldn't have dreamed I could do had I not had the confidence that was built up through being on air. And so yeah, I think it definitely has from that point of view.
What advice would you give to anyone looking to develop their confidence in speech?
Well, I mean, radio is all about speech. I mean, you have to be able to be literate if you're going to get on air. So I think it's the perfect
The
way.
irony.
I know. It is ironic that I am on air, but I have Cam, you see, who I just react to. But no, I think radio is the perfect medium for someone who wants to gain confidence.
Yeah, I think any environment or scenario in which you're kind of forced to speak or to leave your comfort zone as far as speech and communication is concerned would be absolutely ideal. Radio being probably the most obvious and the first thing that comes to mind. Because if you can push yourself and if you can challenge yourself, the amount of hurdles that you can jump would be absolutely amazing.